I'm going to start this video by saying something very clear, and it is, I have hope. I have hope because I've seen things I like, not only from what we are about to see, and there's quite a bit to comment on, but also from what's coming in the next few days. I believe this game can distance itself from the disaster that was F1 24. So let's begin. Today we're going to see the first images of the new My Team mode in F1 25. As many of you know, My Team has undergone a redesign this year, a redesign that directly affects the way the mode is approached, and I believe it will significantly change the gameplay experience. There were too many years without important updates to this mode. Let's start with, in my opinion, one of the best features. The biggest change that will reshape the entire approach to My Team mode. The concept of your driver is being removed. Yes, you heard that right. And for me, this is not just a success, it's a huge success. Because back in 2020, when this mode was first introduced, I never really understood the point of being the driver and at the same time, being the team manager. It always felt fake and unnatural, far from what it should be, which is more in line with what F1 Manager later did. So yes, we begin here. You will no longer play as a single driver. Instead, you will hire two drivers, as it should be. You are the team principal, not the driver. This way, you will have to decide which driver gets upgrades. You will sign two separate contracts. Obviously, these contracts will vary, and it brings to that of F1 Manager. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. From here, a world of possibilities opens up. You'll be making decisions and adjusting aspects you may have only had superficial control over in the past. For example, there's a new perks system that allows you to specialize characters in different areas. As you can see on screen, it's like a skill tree style system where you choose which area to focus on. There's also a new progression system called the fan rating, which supposedly represents your team's prestige. This rating increases as you earn the praise of the motorsport wall, winning rivalries, completing objectives, and earning awards. Back then, the awards didn't really have much impact, but now they directly influence your fan rating. The higher it is, the more interested drivers will be joining your team, and the easier contract negotiations become. I have to say, the part about rivalries makes me a bit nervous. I've always felt that this feature has been poorly executed in previous games. It's never felt meaningful. But you know, let's see how it plays out this time. They've also included a new contract system where you'll have to manage how drivers perceive your team. The best part about stepping away from being a driver and becoming the boss is that you will now influence your driver's morale just like in F1 Manager. The new contract system will reflect this. Until now, contracts were just signed and that's it. But now, how you treat a driver will influence negotiations. If you're treating one driver better or giving them more attention, it might make renewing with the other harder. Or maybe you want to keep things balanced. That's up to you. As you'll also see on screen, contract negotiations now include cinematics and more depth. Based on your fan rating and driver perception, negotiations will feel more dynamic and complex, and that's definitely a good thing. Another feature they've shown is the team headquarters, and I have to say I really like what I saw, especially because of what comes next. Earning points on the track, gaining experience and such. You keep investing, improving the team, and ultimately, all of that increases your work capacity. And also, according to what is shown in the video, it seems you can decide where to allocate resources. Whether you want to have more staff in one department or another, that choice is yours. It actually reminds me a lot of F1 Manager, although I don't think that the game has this exact feature, still, I think it's a good comparison. All of this, as I said, adds value and greatly improves the mode, because it's turning into what it should be, a mode where you are the boss, managing not just the driver, but many more aspects. So yeah, this looks very promising. Of course, this is also directly related to the budget cap, which will have an impact, and therefore becomes another important factor you'll have to manage. Honestly, what can I say? It looks quite promising. This ties into something I personally really like, which gave me a very good feeling and connects to what we mentioned earlier, making you the boss, not the driver. From now on, there's going to be a change in the car upgrade system. If you remember, before, when you upgrade a part, you had to pay development points, and that was it. You just had to wait a few days and the part will be automatically installed in both cars. That's no longer the case. Now, the construction of parts is a completely separate section from research and development. And this goes not just for the parts themselves, but also for things like facilities, team activities, wages, etc. And what is cool is that this separation actually increases the range of possibilities in part construction. For example, you can now choose whether to manufacture both parts at once, or if you are in rush, just build one part to install it sooner on one car. But, of course, that means only one driver will benefit from it. This is important, because yes, this game will also have something that's already present in F1 Manager, and it's quite relevant to how modern F1 works: the budget cap. You won't be able to exceed it, so it becomes a constant factor in your team management throughout the season. But back to the topic of part construction and assigning them to one or both drivers, it's very reminiscent of F1 Manager, a system that works very well there. I think it's a great decision to bring it into this game because, like I said, adds way more depth than before. Previously, it was just like, okay, pay resource points, and boom! Part installed. Super simple. That mode was clearly designed more for players who just want a team for fun, but in practice, it was still a driver-focused career mode. I'm liking this new direction because it gives me the sense that my team mode is evolving into something deeper, more like F1 Manager, even if it doesn't reach the same level of detail, but I think you know what I mean. Another important aspect worth highlighting is sponsors. Supposedly, this part has been given a bit of a facelift too. Besides, you'll now have a relationship with your sponsors, and depending on how it evolves, especially with your title sponsor, you will unlock more benefits. This could be money, experience, and something else they mentioned, like more customization options. And this is very interesting. In fact, if you look closely at the trailer, they already show that the sponsor logos will now be able to move around the car more freely, something F1 Manager had, and that fans have been requesting for a long time. Finally, we get it. That said, they didn't go into too much detail yet, they just gave us a small glimpse. But even so, it's great news to know we'll be able to do this with sponsors. There's still a lot to see, of course, and in the coming days, they will show more. Finally, there's something that personally doesn't matter to me much, but I will mention it for those who might be interested. And this is the icons. The classic drivers you could hire in my team mode can now also be hired by the AI, of course, if you want. So, from the very start, you might see icons like Massa, Schumacher already on a team. Personally, I'm not a fan. I usually like to more realistic sessions, and seeing Jenson or Michael randomly placed on a team doesn't do much for me. But hey, if you like this, you can do it. They're also giving us the option to play my team with the Corner Sport team, you know, the team from Breaking Point. It's not something I'm particularly excited about, but again, it's good to have the option. Also, you'll be able to play the My Team mode with a team from the upcoming Formula 1 movie. The Apex team, I don't know exactly the name, but yeah, you can use the team in My Team mode as well. That's everything that's been revealed today regarding career mode and my team. Personally, I'm pretty happy with what I've seen. I really think this is the right direction to take. Of course, I want to see how it's all implemented, but overall, the improvements look solid. Nothing seems like a bad idea, and they could definitely add to the gaming experience. As always, we'll have to wait to the final game to really judge. But if this mode is well executed, and considering how much I like the concept, if the gameplay is solid like, I don't know, F1 23, I've got hope. I think I could really enjoy my team this year, and honestly, I'm excited to see how it all develops. We'll obviously keep you updated with everything, and as always, I love to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed the video, a like is always appreciated. That's all for me, and see you in the next one.